Hi friends, welcome. My name's Michelle. If we don't know each other already, I want to offer today a meditation for truthfulness. The second foundational principle of yoga is satya, radical, benevolent truthfulness. And yoga asks us not just to speak the truth, but to be it. Be connected to what is true, so that is what moves through our words, through our actions, through our ways of being in the world. Easy. And the thing is, truth isn't always easy in the moment. It's easier in the long run to be living and speaking in a way that is aligned with truth. But it does take courage. And so the mudrā, the hand form that is associated with satya, is Kali mudrā. Looks like this. Kali being the goddess of fierceness, the goddess of empowerment, the goddess of self-will. And we need that, right? To really be truthful and to be benevolently, but radically truthful. So that's what we're up to today. We'll take a few minutes, as always, for a meditation practice to ground and orient ourselves, and to know that that piece of the practice is always something you can come back to. If you find yourself wandering or growing anxious with the stillness, you can always come back to this grounding and orienting moment. I also will offer this Kali mudrā for you to come back to, and we'll use it with the sound of Om after our grounding and orientation. So for Kali mudrā, it is an interlacing of your fingers, except for the pointer and thumb finger. The index and thumb finger stay pointing up. And it's somewhat active, yeah, just as we do in Namaskar mudra, with the palms pressing together. Here, you're really pressing your hands together, and in doing so, you're sort of activating some strength from the center, right, at the core line of your body. And you're opening up space at the back of your body, the back of your lungs, to breathe. Yeah? So that's the idea, Kali mudrā. Here we go. Find first a comfortable seat, a supported seat, so that you feel like you can sit up straight and alert, but there's not effort to it. Yeah, so for me, I always sit on a little block or a thin bolster or pillow, just to give some space for my hips and some ease for my knees. So find what feels right to you. And take a moment to arrive in that seat. It might help to take a deep breath and sigh it out, as I just instinctively did. It might help to roll your shoulders or shake out anything that feels stiff. To find relative stillness. And to first just feel whatever's holding you up. You'll start with, what it is you're sitting on. A chair or a bolster or a block. A blanket. And then the floor, the structure, the earth beneath that's holding that up. Perhaps even the generations that came before. the layers of life, the layers of earth beneath you. And as you root down through your seat and sit tall in your crown, feel a sense of connection to support, to ground and earth. And if it seems like it would be helpful to you, you can always bring a hand onto the earth, right? That sense of touching down into what is grounding and connected. And once you kind of settle into that sense of root, try and, stay with that in part of your mind as you just look around. Notice the space that you're in. Any textures or colors that stand out to you. Windows and doors and walls and furniture around you. And again, any time that you feel like you're floating a little too far away, you can always come back to that orienting and grounding. When you feel ready, you might drop your eyes closed. You might drop your eyes low to the ground, or just keep a soft gaze. In any case, beginning to tune inward. Notice that root. Notice breath that moves through you. And you might feel the need to adjust your seat if you can't breathe freely, if you can't feel breath moving through your whole being. And from here, we'll bring focus to the resonance that is within us and between us all the time, amplifying it with the sound of Om. And again, I suggest that you try practicing this Om with the Kali mudrā, so interlacing your hands, letting your index and thumb go free. Press your palms together right in front of your sternum, in front of the heart space. Feel that little engagement. It's not a tension or like a sucking in or anything. It's just an engagement at the center of the center. And then find a full breath, as if you could fill up your lungs on all sides, maybe especially across the back. And a sighing exhale. One more like that, a breath in, fill everything up. And let it go, returning to center. And this time with the sound of Om. Full inhale. Allow that resonance to stay with you. And feel free to keep the Kali mudrā as long as you like, as long as you can. or to release it if you'd rather. But I invite you to bring to mind something that is true. It could be something big or something small, but something that you know to be true. Give that just a word or an image that you can hold in your mind with ease. And let your breath sort of envelop or contain that idea. Just for a few breaths. And with that idea, that sense of what is true, where does that live in your body? When you experience that knowing, it's almost an emotion, that knowing of what is true, of recognition. Is there a place where you feel that in your body? The answer might be no, in which case, be with the question. Still holding that truth in your mind. Now, if there is a place in your body where that truth lives, could breath expand from that place? And could you return to that place with your exhale? Really just a different expression of the breath wrapping around, extending from and returning to truth. If the breath itself is what feels true, be with that expansion and return to your own center. Now allow your mind to play with the idea. Is this a truth that you can articulate? How do you speak this truth? You might even imagine the shape of the words in your mouth. Now we have thought this truth and spoken this truth. How could you, or could you, act in accordance with what is true? This one takes a little more imagination. And it may not easily fit with the truth that you've chosen, and that's okay. Again, just be with the question. How can I act in such a way that is aligned with this truth? Perhaps reflects or expresses this truth. Maybe it just goes along with it. And if your mind wanders in different directions, as it might, just come back to this question. It's also okay if a different truth has come to you. What does truth look like in action? Perhaps like your breath, your action could come from that place in your body where the truth lives. And then release any effort around that question. Just sort of let it go. Allow yourself to receive the possibility. There is truth. There is truth in your breath, the breath that moves through you, through every other being on the planet. For the next few breaths, invite I speak the truth. To the best of your ability and with benevolence and kindness, I speak the truth. And again, releasing any effort around that idea. Perhaps a sigh. And invite the idea, the affirmation, I from truth. I act from truth. Again, you might imagine the shapes of the words in your mouth or the vibration of it in your chest or in the breath where truth lives in your body. I act from truth. And then once more, allow the effort of holding that thought to soften. Bring attention again to your breath, to breath as it moves through you. You don't have to create breath. You can be a conduit for breath to enter in and exit out. Exhale can be a release or an offering or both. And this last sort of affirmative round, entertain the possibility that you are a conduit for truth, that you allow it to come in, to be processed, alchemized, and then to be released and offered out. We'll be here just as open conduit for another minute. Invite your awareness back to breath. Back into your body. back into that sense of connection and support. And once more, we'll offer this sound of Om, the first sound of the universe, the first, the last, and continuous resonance. You can revisit that Kali mudrā also if you're not already. Find a full breath as big as you can be. Release that breath. And then toward Om, another inhale. Release the mudra if you're holding it. As you're ready, begin to blink your eyes open if they're not. Find again your place in the room, your place in space. Orienting yourself to this moment. We've packed a lot in to this short meditation. I invite you to take a little time, maybe to write things down, whatever comes to you from this practice. I invite you to revisit this practice in part or in full. Maybe in a few days, maybe in a week, just to see what comes up. In the meantime, from this place of truth, from this center where we are connected and the same, I bow to you with gratitude, with love, as always. May you be well, may you be good to each other, may you see and speak and act from a place of truth. Share what you feel, share your reflections or requests for other meditations, other practices, other philosophies that we might explore. Let us know how you're doing. It's good to be with you. I'll see you soon.